As a mixer, the vocal is pretty much always the number one priority. You need it to be upfront, clear, and have really good energy, but you also need it to sit well in the mix. So in this video, I'm gonna help you find that sweet spot where you can hear every word and the vocal is right up front, but it doesn't kind of stand out and feel separate in a weird way. The first step is always compression. And if you're not happy with the vocal mix that you're getting right now, there's like a 99% chance that you're not using enough compression. So check out this vocal track here. So the first thing I'll do is add compression, and my go-to is the CLA 76 from Waves. I love the bluey setting on this in-your-face vocal. Just attack right in the middle, release fastest, 4-1. Check this out. Hear how that instantly sounds like a record? It sounds like a vocal, like right away. Let me A/B it for you. And I'm not really concerned about what the gain reduction meter is doing. I'm just listening. I'm wanting to hear the energy behind all the words that he's saying. I'm wanting to get that feeling that the vocal is like right in front of my face. Now, I actually think we could add some more compression before this with the SSL channel, which is where I'll do my EQ. So I'll actually just add some top end here. And then I'll also compress after it. Let's go 6-1, fast attack, fast release. All right, that's sounding pretty good already. And keep in mind, this vocal was compressed on the way in. I didn't actually track this vocal for this particular song, but I can tell just by looking at it that it's already compressed. For me, when I'm tracking vocals, I'll usually use a distressor on the way in, and I'm not afraid to do anywhere from like 6 to 12 dB of compression, maybe more on screaming vocals. So there's a lot of compression, and you need a lot of compression in a modern pop or rock or metal vocal. That is really where the sound is coming from. It's not coming from EQ, it's coming from the compression, and that's where the energy, the clarity, the intensity comes from, and that's how you keep it right up front. All right, next step, after all that compression and the brightness, you've made the S's really loud, so the next step is a de-esser. Sometimes you might think that your vocal is too compressed or too bright, and you start to back those things off and kind of play it a little safer. But often you just need to de-ess a little bit, and then sometimes after de-essing, you can make the vocal even brighter. There are so many de-essing tools you can use, and they're all pretty much fine. Lately, I've really been liking this one called Sibilance from Waves because I can pretty much put it on and not have to dial in any settings. Often what I'll do is I'll just lower the threshold so that it's catching kind of all the S's and all the harsh sibilance there, and then I'll just use the range to control how much it's actually reducing the S's. You obviously still need some of that high-end S and consonants to come through in the mix, and that's partly what makes the vocal sound and feel bright and present. So you just got to find the sweet spot of where you're getting that, but not too much that it's taking your head off.
Save me from all the pressure it haunts me as it makes its way to the finite end.
All right, that sounds good to me. All right, we're getting pretty close on this vocal sound, but one of the side effects of the heavy compression that we're doing here is that we get some spots, some words in the vocal where it just pokes out too much in a weird way. We can get these spikes in the level because of that compression. So that's why last in the chain, I always like to add a limiter. I love this L1, been using it for forever. It's an old plugin. And I'll just do a little bit here just to catch those spikes. Let me show you what I mean. Like that word right there, as. Usually it's those hard consonants. They kind of cause this spike. So watch the meter when I bypass this. See on the as, it just like, it almost clips the meter. So let's put the L1 in.
Pressure, it haunts me as its time makes its way to the finite end of this. Get it away from me, I've been so.
So it's just taking that hard edge at the start of just some of the words here, and it's just taming that. That way we get that really loud, compressed upfront vocal without those occasional transients that might be harsh to the ears. All right, we're 90% there with this vocal sound after compression, de-essing, and limiting. It's already sitting well in the mix, but the last 10% is gonna come from automation. And even though we've done all this dynamic control with these other plugins, you still need to automate to make sure that we can hear and feel every word in the mix. Personally, how I do it is with a physical fader. So I'll show you what I've got here. It's the Avid Artist Control. And I'll actually just play it and I'll have my finger on the fader, but there's a key way to do this. And it's by not looking at the waveform on the screen. Like if we're just looking at this, there's certain words just visually, you know, I might push up or turn down because of what I see on the screen, but I don't want to be influenced by that. So I'll actually go to the mix view here. I'll put this in latch mode. So that means when I move the fader, it's going to write the automation. And then I'll just listen and ride the fader as I'm listening. And if I hear something that sticks out too much, I'll rewind, play it again, turn it down on that line, and I'll just do a few passes until it feels right. You know, something like this. So whenever he's saying the word me, it's kind of jumping out a little bit. So let's try that again. So that definitely wasn't perfect. I probably dropped it a little too much on the me, but you can see here the moves that are being written in the automation. And I highly recommend that you don't draw this in, you know, with the mouse, like with a pencil, and don't just like listen to it and, you know, do this and go up and down. You can kind of do that to fine tune it at the end. But I highly recommend getting a physical fader. It's just different. You use your ears way more than your eyes, and you get a better result. And even if you don't have a physical fader, you can just still put it in write mode and then just use your mouse to ride it up and down. So that's how you control your vocals and get them to sit perfectly in the mix. It's all about a generous dose of compression, de-essing, limiting, and then automation to finish it off. Now, one last key to getting your vocals sitting right in the mix is using the right effects. And personally, I don't like to use any reverb on the vocals. And instead, I use a little delay trick that I've been doing for like forever, and it works perfectly. So if you want to find out exactly what that delay trick is, just check out this video right here, and I'll talk to you later.